I'm going to take every one of these 50 men, 51, including my father, and I'm going to do, maybe for 10 minutes, I'm going to do something special about each and every one of them that you probably don't know. And I'm going to introduce it in just about every one of my shows. So yes, you're going to be getting more content from me on the mob, in addition to other things that I'm doing. But here's something even better.
I walk in redemption.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Sit Down with Michael Franzese. Hope everybody is doing well. Everything is very good, very blessed on this end. As always, my friends, I give God all the praise, honor, glory, and thanksgiving for that because He deserves it. Well, end of the year 2023 is in the books. It's over. 2024 is here. I'm very excited about what's going to be happening on this platform in 2024. We have a lot of great things planned. I'm going to get into that. But before I do, I want to kind of wrap up 2023 in the mob genre. I'm not going to talk about everything else other than the fact that I really want to thank all of you who have subbed to me this past year. We got well over 100 and some odd thousand new subs this year. Appreciate that very much. A lot of my loyal followers, man, you've made this channel grow. It's all up to you. Thank you so much for that. We try to give you the best content we possibly could, and you appreciate it. So you are the ones that motivate us to keep going. And 2024, we're going to be doing a lot of new stuff, a lot of interviews, and something very special that I'm going to be revealing in a very short time. But first, let me wrap up 2023 in the mob genre. Now, has it grown? Yes, it has. We have some new platforms, some platforms that have grown, pretty well, I would say. And people, let me make this clear. This mob genre is not big. I think with everybody combined, other than myself and Sammy, there's probably about 200, maybe 250,000 subs altogether. It's not a lot for the amount of people that are on platforms in this genre. Remember that. It's not really big. But for those of you that enjoy it, you're getting a lot of content, a lot of stuff is coming on, and I hope you appreciate it. And again, some of the platforms are growing well. They do different things. You tune in to one person to hear something, another person to hear something else. You get it, we got it, it's great. And I have to say this, a lot of people should be very thankful to Sammy Gravano. He's provided so much content for many of you out there. Now, I don't know what you feel about him personally. Most of you don't know him. You talk about him, I get it, and so on and so forth. But listen, Sammy is entertaining. He's got his followers. No matter what you say about him, he's going to continue. That's just the way it is. I've had some shots taken at me. I get it. I understand it. That's the YouTube world. People want to get views. They want to get subs. They say things. I get it. I understand it. And let me tell you this, do I look at some of the other channels sometimes? Of course I do, especially when they're talking about me. You want to hear what's going on. And thanks to many of you, my followers, my loyal followers, they jump in, they defend me. Hey, Michael, did you hear this? So-and-so said that. What do you say about this? So yeah, I'm human too. People are taking shots at you. They're talking about you. You want to go and see what they have to say. And you know what? For the most part, I get it. Doesn't bother me. I understand it. The misinformation sometimes, when people just distort the facts and don't want to tell the truth and just say things as opinion that they make out to be facts, yeah, that's troublesome. And there's so much of that goes on in this genre, people. That's how it is. So look, for all those of you that use, and I say that, not in a bad way, hey, I applaud you. You're building your platforms. I understand it. You do what you got to do. I get it. No problem. But for those of you that use Sammy and use me and use some of the other people there for views, hey, more power to you. And I'm just thinking of ways, since we've provided so much content for you, with me, especially in the past couple of weeks, a few comments I made about somebody, I'm not going to get into that again, provided content for many of you for days and days. It's still going on, so you should be thankful we're providing that content for you, and we'll probably continue throughout the year. And I've been thinking about ways that I can help you guys out a little bit more. I'm thinking Gene Borello. How would that be if I sat down with Gene Borello? Now, let me tell you about Gene, okay? He's a charismatic guy. He goes off what's in his head. No filter comes out through his mouth. I get it, but you people love him. You're talking about him all the time. You love him. He provides more content for all of you. I get it. I'm thinking of sitting down with him. And you know why? A couple of reasons. Number one, now he badmouthed me. Absolutely, he badmouthed me. But Gene gets it. It's YouTube stuff. How do I know that? I'll tell you why. My daughter, Julia, was very upset at one point in time because, hey, she's my daughter. I love her. All my kids come to my defense all the time. She's very close with me. Somebody made a remark about me. I don't know what it was. And Julia got upset. So she said something, or she responded to this person defending me on YouTube in a comment. And they came back at her. They came right back at her. Now, I found this out afterwards. Gene Borello happened to see that, and he defended her. He told these guys, lay off. That's Michael's daughter. She's doing what she's supposed to be doing, defending her father, and don't anybody say a word. And then Gene actually texted or messaged my daughter and said, hey, this is all YouTube stuff. Don't pay any attention to it. You know, you should be defending your father. It's all okay. Don't let anything bother you. You know what? That was a class move. It really was. And that was during the time he was probably bad-mouthing me. I don't know. But he gets it. You know, it's YouTube stuff. Does it really mean anything? Not really. You know, it really doesn't. You know, did I ever defend myself against Gene at the time? No, I didn't. John A-Light, the same thing. You know, he came at me in the beginning and this and that. John and I have patched it up. You know what? He's a good guy. You know, a lot of people are attacking him, but what is he doing? He's providing content for everybody because John's name is in people's mouths all the time, and that's how they're building their channels. There's channels out there that have built their channel on Sammy Gravano's back. And you know what? Again, you're not hurting him. Sammy keeps growing. The people that love him are going to follow him. He's a great storyteller, whatever, and I happen to like the guy. I am not going to judge Sammy for what he did in his past. I don't know what's in his head, what is in his heart. I've had very, very good conversations with him. I told people in the past I happen to like his daughter very much. He was very honest in an interview with me. His son Gerard, good guy, solid guy. That's how I feel. Who am I to judge his past? Now, I'm going to tell you this too. There are a couple of guys on there, I'm going to mention their names, that I think are doing a good job. Jeff Nadeau tries to get it right. Okay, he does his research. Does he get it right all the time? No, none of us do. But I think he does his research. I don't think he's out to kill anybody or get anybody. I think he just tries to call it as he sees it or as his investigation reveals. He seems like one of those guys. Tom LaVecchia, same thing to me. You know, seems like one of those guys that tries to get it right. I've met Tom. He's come to a couple of my shows. Decent guy, good guy, building his platform. I get it, but he tries to get it right. You know, James Proctor, I happen to like the guy. Okay, I look at him, I see what he does his research, he's not really out to kill anybody. Yeah, he said some things about Sammy, but I believe he actually feels that way. So he says what he feels. Whether I agree with him or not, he says what he feels, but he makes a real effort to try to get it right. I like his shorts. He's doing a great job with the shorts. He puts a lot of effort and time into it. So James is a good guy. You know, OC Shorts, another guy. Tries to get it right, does his research. You know, a lot of the research comes from Google. It's not always accurate. There's a lot more information under the carpet, so to speak, that you can't always find, you know, but these guys try to get it right. And then there's the guys out there that, honestly, they'll do anything to get views. And they even admit that. They say it. They'll do anything to get subs and get views, whether it's right, wrong, anything indifferent, doesn't matter, you know. And you know what? I don't ascribe to that. I don't think it's good. And people, look, I've said this in the past. I said this when I started my YouTube channel, which, by the way, I was very reluctant to do. You know, when the pandemic came on, you know, and all my speaking engagements, probably 40 plus speaking engagements were canceled, my teams came to me and said, Michael, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to do nothing. I said, I haven't been home like this in 25 years because I travel quite a bit. I'm always speaking on the road. I said, I'm going to do nothing. I'm going to spend the time with my wife, my kids. It's great. No, Michael, you got to start YouTube. You got to start YouTube. That's when I started. It took me 2 months to finally say, okay. And, you know, by the grace of God and thankful to all of you, the channel just grew. Can I explain it? No. I just thank all of you for having it grow the way it did. And, of course, we're over 1 million subs. That's not easy to do, people. Okay? You know, the ratio of people, you know, passing that million is very, very tiny compared to the amount of people that have platforms on YouTube. So it was a big accomplishment. And again, I thank all of you. And that's why for 24, I'm going to do even more, you know, to try to just entertain you, please you. Now, let me tell you this, okay? I've done, I think, about 450 videos. Probably 350 were mob related, all about mob stuff, mob stories. People, I don't have any more stories unless somebody rattles my brain and they come out. You know, as you see, I don't have a co-host to be feeding me anything. I just tell you what I tell you from the best possible memory that I can have, the stories. Now, when something comes up that's important, okay, or I think it's really applicable, it applies to that genre, I'm going to talk about it, of course. And when I talk about other things, I'm going to talk from my perspective, having spent 20 years on the street and growing up with a father that was a very prominent figure in that life. So yeah, it's been part of my life since practically birth. That's it. So yeah, I have that perspective. But guys, you know, people, I want to tell you this too. You know, there's a lot of talk, you know, about people who did this and who didn't do that and whatever. I want you to remember this. Remember all of this. When we took an oath, every guy that's a made guy in this mob genre, we took an oath. And that oath, okay, when I took the oath, I was told straight out, Michael, if your mother is sick in bed and dying and you're at her bedside and we call you to service, you leave your mother's side and you come and serve us. We're number one in your life before anything and everything. That's what we were told, okay? And many of us, yeah, we followed that. And in the process of following that, let's be honest, we murdered people. We extorted people. We broke the law consistently. We stabbed one another in the back. We did bad things for money and power and everything else. That's the life. So nobody in this genre should be applauded for being part of the life. We shouldn't be. Myself included. I am telling you that. I've been out of that life for almost 30 years now. I've tried to change my life. If you want to give me any kind of credit, give me credit for that. Don't give me credit for what I was during that time. I left the life because I saw it was a bad life. It's a life that every family of every member of that life that I know has been totally destroyed. And when I walked away, I said, I'm not doing that to my family. That's it. Okay, I'm not going to do it. I saw my own family be destroyed and so many others. So don't applaud any one of us on here, whether you call us stand up, whether you call us other names, whatever. Don't applaud any one of us for what we did in that life. I'm telling you that right now. Okay, and that's how it should be across the board. Now, there are a lot of guys here who've tried to make a change. Anthony Ruggiano, he's become a friend. People knock him, whatever, it doesn't matter. The guy has tried to change his life. He's had some serious issues before. He's doing his best to change his life now. Dominic Cicali, same thing, trying to change his life now. Okay, Mikey Scars, same thing. Admits to what he did in that life, trying to change his life now. So, you know, if you want to applaud him for doing that or applaud any of us for doing that, that's okay. But don't look up to us for what we were in that life because we weren't good people at that time. Okay, we might have been good people at heart, but we did bad things. We did it knowingly and we did it willingly, and there are no excuses, and we must take responsibility for what we did. That's across the board for every made guy that's in this YouTube genre. I want to make that clear. So, here's what I want to do, my parting shots. I may even, you know, maybe I'll sit down with Gene Borello. Maybe I'll sit down with John A. Light. You know, people, you know what? I don't hold it against them for anything they said for me in my past. And, you know, I remember a very famous quote, and I want to tell you this. It says, never explain. Your friends don't need it, and your enemies are not going to believe you anyway. Is that true? Of course it is. People that take shots at me that might be false, I can put up all the evidence. In some cases I have. They'll ignore it. They don't care. Friends of mine, they don't want to hear it because they say, Michael, you don't need to do that. But my enemies, I can give them the proof, the facts, and everything else. And that goes for everybody, not only me. They're not going to believe it because they want to be your enemy. They want to be loyal to another guy. They want to talk about you. They want to say this. There's haters out there. It's always going to happen, especially in this genre. Hey, we take shots, you know, and a lot of us for our past life, maybe we should take the shots. That's who we were back then. You know, my only thing is try to get it right, people. You know, it serves you well when you get it right. You know, a lot of times I had said this, you know, and I'm going to say this again. For the people that took shots at me in the past, if you had asked me to come on your show and I could have helped you build it, I would have done it. Why not? There's plenty of room in this genre. We're not competing with one another. If you would say to me, hey, Mike, come on my show, and I've done it. Done it with an Anthony Ruggiano. I did it with Sammy. And you know what? Sammy and I don't make money together. There's all these stories we haven't made a dime together. People, did you hear what I said? We're not doing anything for money together. He asked me to do him a favor. If I can do it, I'll do it. And if I ask him to do a favor, he'll do it also. We're not making money together. People on YouTube think they know all the answers. They don't. But they're being misled sometimes by others. What's the difference? It's the genre. We get it. You know what the bottom line is, people? For all you watching, hopefully we're entertaining you. Hopefully you're getting a little bit of history because a lot of you are into this genre. Hey, I know it. You know what? This genre is hot all over the world. You know where I've been to? I've been to Singapore. I've been to Malaysia. I've been to Australia. I've been to Bulgaria, United Kingdom, another big tour, second big tour, 15 cities. I'm going to Scandinavia. I'm going to Monaco. The country of Georgia wants me. I have been everywhere because people are interested in the genre and I know how to present it. And they keep buying tickets and they come, so we understand the genre is hot. All we ask is try to get it right. It serves you better when you get it right. People in the end will respect you. Your channels will grow. Try to get it right. That's all I'm saying. But here's my thing. I wish every one of you all the best for 2024. I mean it. I hope all your platforms grow. I hope you entertain people. I hope they enjoy it. Keep this in front of people. It's great. I got maybe a television show or a movie happening. Hey, the more people are talking about the genre, the better it is. So keep it going. Unfortunately, I should say fortunately, the guys on the street now have really went low key. You don't hear much about anybody anymore, so there's not much to talk about with the new guys. I wouldn't talk about it anyway. I'm not going there. These guys don't want to be talked about and I'm not going to. Okay, but there's not a lot of new stuff to talk about. There really isn't. It's all going back and going back and going back unless something happens. But listen, every one of you out there, do your best, entertain the people, try to get it right. That's all I can say. You'll be respected more and people will enjoy it more. But hey, more power to you. And we'll see how it happens in 2024. Let's see if, some more people come on the platform. Who knows? But hopefully it'll do, it'll serve its purpose well and everybody will enjoy it. Now, let's move on to 2024. Let me tell you what happened. I'm so excited about this. There's a guy, I'm not going to mention his name yet, but I will shortly. He's a tattoo artist, brilliant tattoo artist, right? He happened to contact me. He was one of my followers. He watches my stuff. Great. I had a tattoo that I got in prison with my wife, a heart, and he said, Michael, if I can ever do a tattoo, I would love to do it. So I go visit him because this was a prison tattoo. A guy owed me money. He wanted to pay me, but he didn't have any money. I said, guy, don't worry about it. You don't owe me anything. Let me at least give you a tattoo. To get him off my back, I got the tattoo. It was horrible, right? I did a bad job. Anyway, you're not supposed to do that in prison anyway, but we made it happen. So I go and he redoes this tattoo and I meet him and great guy, really liked him. And he says to me, you know what, Michael, I'm a great artist, which he is. I saw some of his work, magnificent. He said, I'm into the genre. I'd love to do something different. What do you have in mind? What do you think we can do? After he does this tattoo, he says, I want to present you with some of my work. And he presents me with this brilliant portrait of all the mob actors, Ray Liotta, all the guys, Robert De Niro, all the guys, Al Pacino, everybody that's been in a mob role. Brilliantly done. Even my friend Chaz Palminteri. Brilliant, right? I said, wow, what a masterpiece that was, right? Or that is, I should say. So he says, I want to do something else in the genre. Do you have something in mind, Michael? I said, you know what? You know what would be totally unique? I said, if you go back 100 years to the beginning of mobdom, I would say, Cosa Nostra in this country. I said, there's some guys that really stand out. Maybe about 50 of them in my view. I says, and if you can put all of these 50 in one portrait, I think it would be amazing. So I give him the 50, and I got to be honest with you, he adds me to it, thank you. And when you see this, I'm not saying, that I'm one, but, as a courtesy, he did that for me. And he put me in it, which is, I was very grateful for that. But anyway, okay, so he takes a year to make this magnificent portrait. Now, I want to show it to you right now. You're going to agree. You're not going to be able to appreciate it, on camera, but I'm going to show it to you, and then I'm going to tell you what I have in mind for 2024. Okay, here it is. Take a look at this. Cameraman, just, scan it, get the best possible view that they can. You got 52 guys on here that I think are the prominent guys in this era in the past 100 years. okay? You can't appreciate it. It's magnificent, okay? Magnificent. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take every one of these 50 men, 51, including my father, and I'm going to do, maybe for 10 minutes, I'm going to do something special about each and every one of them that you probably don't know. And I'm going to introduce it in just about every one of my shows. So yes, you're going to be getting more content from me on the mob, in addition to other things that I'm doing. But here's something even better. This is a magnificent, one-of-a-kind piece. You're not going to be able to get it anywhere else, and nobody will ever duplicate anything like this, because there's two guys that are alive on this thing, Sammy and me. We're going to have our signature on it, okay? Sammy and me. And you're not going to be able to duplicate this, okay? Now here's the thing. We're going to be offering this in limited amount, okay, to people that want it. And I've already got so many people that know a little bit about this that are requesting it. So I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know how many of these we can duplicate, but we're going to make it available on a limited basis for those of you that want something totally unique. You're only going to be able to get it through me. It's coming through me. The artist and I have made an arrangement together, and that's it. So what are you going to get? You're going to get a story about all 51 of these guys that's unique, number one, and you're going to have a chance to own this and put it up in your house for all the views. For all those of you that are mob enthusiasts, I'm telling you, this is a one-of-a-kind piece, and we got some other things to follow along with this. This artist is brilliant, and the things that he's coming up with is just unbelievable, really. I mean, he made a label for my wine bottle, you know, like this. That's unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. So a lot of unique things. For those of you that love this genre, I'm telling you, you're going to love what we have to offer in 2024. Now, on top of that, not only this, I have a lot of great interviews coming up. Okay, we have a lot of them lined up. We got some other stories. We've been working on content and material, and I think you're going to like it. And people, let me tell you something. I tell you right now, I'm not the guy that's going to be telling a mob story each and every time. I'm not going to be talking about people. It's not what I do. Okay, there are other platforms, and I encourage you to go and look at them. You know, watch them. If this is what you're into and you want to hear it, go and do it. Every one of them. I don't hold a grudge against any one of them. Do whatever, you know, but you're going to hear stuff from me, from my perspective, in a different way. And I promise you, 24 is going to be a good year for those of you that are into it. You know what? I'm going to talk about some things with women that I think are very, very important. I really am. Okay, there's a couple of things that have really caught my eye, and I'm going to talk about them, and I'm going to introduce some things that you haven't heard before. So, we've got a lot of things coming up, people. I want to thank you for everything in 2023. I ask you to look forward to 2024. We're going to be putting a lot into this to keep entertaining you and to keeping you happy. Thank you for all of you that have purchased my wine. You're going to hear a lot about Slices Pizza coming up. I got a whole new platform that I built that I put together. I'll be introducing that a little bit later on in the first quarter of next year. And that's it. So everything is going well. People, how do I always leave you the same way? It's not going to change. As long as I'm on YouTube, it's going to be the same way. Be safe. And people, must I tell you anything more? Be safe. Please watch your backs. Ladies in the parking lots, watch your backs. Be healthy. You know, it's funny. Go to the gym next week. You're not going to be able to get your place in there. So many people are going to be coming in with their New Year's resolution. I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to get strong. And I'm going to do all of that. By March, it closes out again. It'll be right back to normal. That's just the trend. It happens every single year. But try to be healthy. Try to stay with it. Don't over-exercise. Don't over-promise yourself. Don't over-resolution yourself, because it's not going to happen. Do what you know you're going to do and build up gradually, and everything will be fine. So be safe. Be healthy, and people, I really mean this, you know. God bless each and every one of us and your families for 2024. I think it's going to be a difficult year. We have a lot going on in this world. I really mean that. Who knows what's going to be happening in the Middle East? A lot of stuff is going on with Iran. And people, I want to tell you this. I may turn some of you off right now, but I have to tell you this. First, okay, for what I'm going to say, let's make believe Trump is in jail. Trump has dementia. Trump is dead. Trump doesn't exist. He's gone. He doesn't matter anymore. You must get Joe Biden out of office. He is destroying this country. We need a new administration. What's happening at the border, what's happening around the world, this man is not in control. America is looking weak. We are getting invaded. I am not against immigrants, but we need a proper immigration system. And Congress, you should be ashamed of yourself. For 25 years, you haven't made this work. 25 years, something so important, you can't come up with a rational and viable, alternative to what's going on now. And it's your responsibility to protect the American people and do it. But Biden can stop this. He started it with an executive order. He can stop it with an executive order, but he won't do it. Why? The Dems have a plan. They want to get every one of these people to vote. They want to turn this country into a socialist nation. That's what's happening. Open your eyes. You must get Biden and his accomplices out of office. I don't care who you stick in there. It can't be him. That's it. Okay? Take care. See you next time.